Welcome to Tea Time with Shayleigh and Amber. I'm Shayleigh Evans, and I'm a life coach for pets and their people. I'm a truth seeker, and it's my passion to empower others and to give animals a voice along the way.
I'm Amber Leidick, and I've been a performance horse trainer focused on behavioral issues for over 20 years. My current passion is creating impactful in-person and online events and collaborating with professionals to be on the leading edge of positive change in the horse industry.
We are two friends invested in theta healing, belief system work, animal communication, and any resources that benefit human-animal partnerships. So turn up the volume and let's dive into the Great Awakening, brought to you by our horses. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. How is your year of the horse going? Or if you want to come along with Amber and I, we're in the year of the whale. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it came about to be in the year of the whale. And then I was like really disappointed that there's not an actual year of the whale. And then I was even more disappointed that I even thought there was a whale zodiac. I was like, how could I even think that and look it up? But anyway, nonetheless, smooth whaling is the concept for 2026. And it's fascinating because like I have never just as an animal communicator, like I've worked with deer, squirrels, like birds, lots of wildlife, and I'm never drawn to the ocean. I'm never drawn to like connecting with dolphins or anything like that. And recently I've been getting these little puns in my mind of like what's your purpose? And so I took a drawing class because I'm like, I need to learn how to draw a porpoise because then I can like put to life my little puns. And I tried doing it with AI and it was creepy. It gave like the animals like human hands and stuff. Like it was weird. It was like exactly what I needed to be like, I think I should try to draw this. But yeah, Year of the Whale. What does that mean to you? I don't know, but you can go with Year of the Horse if you want. The people who are going with Year of the Horse so far, it seems kind of intense. Have you noticed that in your life too?
Well, yeah, because I feel like the buildup around it for some reason, for some reason, obviously, because we're horse people, so everybody's like, "You're the horse," like, and so I guess you just heard more about it than you're of anything else, because I don't even know. Well, I guess I know what last year was because everyone kept talking about the shedding,
Oh
um,
yeah.
but I
Or
think
the
prior to
grass.
that, I have no idea what year it was until this year, really. So it's interesting to watch people like, yes, I'm powerful and I'm all these like things that they want to embody about the horse. And I'm like, that makes me feel a little tired. So like the whale though, the whale is like in the flow and it's still very powerful, very intuitive, very intelligent, but like just the moving through life, dude, just cruising. So
Just straight cruising. The other day, Amber, the other day, Amber was like, dude, I'm so fat right now. And I was like, well, it's the Year of the Whale.
it's become our go-to. Everything is well, it is the year of the whale. Uh,
Yeah, but it is interesting, I think, because I have been hit with this creative flow lately of like doing art. I'm learning slash channel. I'm not even learning, I guess it's learning, but I'm not learning from anyone, this light language that I've been creating. And I think it's because I have been embodying that idea of flow. And every night before bed, I've been very intentional where I'm like, take all of my thoughts from the day and transmute them into love. And it's just kind of like this intentional practice that I've been doing where I'm like, any thought that I ever thought today, any like feeling that I ever felt, I want it to be transmuted into love and I want to wake up more inspired. And it's happening. It's so crazy to me that we don't do that all the time, but I think there's something really powerful about like going to bed and setting an intention and like seeing what comes up.
yeah. And so I was thinking about that this morning, actually, when I was coming back from school about like these simple things that we know are so potent because I started listening to that soundtrack again. Um, we did in January Manifesting Magic, and we had invited some people to find like a song if that resonated with you, and I found this entire soundtrack. Um, and it's totally changes the energy of everything. And it's like I forget how easy it is to do those like tiny practices. And then when you tell people about them, like they are so potent and they change everything. But like you just get all caught up in doing your life and then you forget or something. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, yeah. And it becomes this like heavier like thing you have to check off the list that you did. And I'm like, that is so fascinating. I wonder why you just get pulled back into that pattern of, oh, it's just easier then. And I'm like, wait a minute. But if people actually believed all of this and got to experience the the word I'm looking for, the not repercussions, it's so aggressive. The benefits, which is not the word I want to use either, from doing these practices, then they would do them all the time and it would be like, this is effortless, right? So I don't know, it's interesting to human.
Yeah, I think really staying dedicated to how I feel has been something that I've been focusing on, and that has meant like distancing myself from conversations that I have every day, and not in like a, oh, I need to distance myself from this person because they're so negative, but just like reading a text and feeling that initial feel of like it's taking just a little bit of my energy to even like read through this whole text and being like, nah, I'll do it later, you know? And it's not like I'm gonna go ignoring everybody in my life, although sometimes I do. But it's been interesting for me to like stay committed to how I feel and how many moments, like I made a little declaration at the beginning of the week. And then I think of like how many moments I want to do the thing that I said I wasn't going to do. And I'm just like, oh, that's so fascinating how like my nervous system wants to go back to that and how it feels a little uncomfortable to kind of like sit in that space. But then my little mantra lately is like, I'm just choosing happiness, choosing lightness, choosing what feels good. And if it doesn't feel good, I'm not doing it. And it's, I think a lot of people don't do it because it's just so much easier to get caught up in, because it takes a split second, right? Just someone like saying something to you, and all of a sudden you're there talking with them about whatever complaint they have, and you're like, how did I get here?
It is interesting to watch yourself. I think that's something that I'm really good at because I have a couple people that tend to live to focus on I don't know, the political climate, the the all the things that are happening in our world right now. And this conversation we had the other day where it was like, it's so fascinating. Like, do you not care? Or and I'm like, I just cannot, it does not support me or anyone around me to get so caught up that I am also in distress. And then everybody is adding to this collective distress. But it's interesting to not get sucked into someone's stuff when you're sitting across from them because I feel like they sometimes feel a little bit like dropped or even judged when you're not going along with the ride of the. I let the conversation happen, but I watch it kind of like bounce off me and I hear myself sound. I'm like, oh yeah? Yeah, like it's just this most like neutral, like I'm hearing you. I'm here with you to hear you, but I don't I cannot I cannot go on the care train because I would be so drained and I wouldn't be able to actually do I feel like what we're like meant to do while we're here, which is like supporting people that are wrapped up in it. And if you don't have like a baseline of like what actually feels good and neutral, then you're just all over the place and you have no idea. You just go willy-nilly out into the world, into social media and start scrolling, and then you're sucked into every like emotional pipeline of crazy. Um, and man, I just got rid of my hives, so I'm not trying to get back into that stressed out era that I was in last year. No, thank you.
Yeah, it's interesting. Life is interesting. It's definitely got an ebb and flow. Um, So, speaking of flow and my artwork, all right, because I'm obsessed with it right now. I was telling Amber, so I went through this. I am always saying, like, where is your creative energy going? Because I think it's like the most important question that we can ask ourselves. Like, energy is creation. So it can be going to anger, it can be going to politics, it can be going to your horses, your body, your art. Like, it's always flowing. We can never stop it. And I was getting like chronically fatigued for a while. And I was kind of like, oh, maybe it's my period, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And I was taking these little different supplements, and right now I'm in like a 5 week I think it's longer than 5 weeks at this point. I don't know how long it is. I'm in a Chinese medicine course and it's freaking awesome. She holds her cat and she sings to us at the beginning of everything. And she just really set the bar high for any class I want to take in the future because she's like, she's just so real. But where am I going with this? Where am I going with this? Focus. Um,
Where's your creative
I
going?
yeah, where is your creative energy going? So I was talking about chronic fatigue and being bogged down and like having to take naps and all this stuff. And I realized that it was literally just like self-suppression unintentionally. I wasn't not living my life. I was still walking my dog and everything, but I had been wanting to take an art class for a while. And I just kind of never like really looked into it. You guys know the thing. It's like the procrastination where it's like, oh, I want to do that. And then it's like it keeps getting pushed off and pushed off. Well, Spirit was not letting that happen for me. And I ended up taking like Jane Pike's little 5-day art class. I am reignited, you guys. I think it started with sitting on Fern because what did I tell you when I first sat on her? I was like, I have energy for days, or like I'm like a boundless energy or something, because it was just like an awakening of my creative energy. And that's a whole nother topic in itself because sitting on a horse who's like truly here for it and not just like complying because they are like a very good boy like Kip was. So crazy. But anyway, I'm rambling a little bit because sometimes I can't even find words lately for like the feelings that I have. And I think that's why this light language is coming through because I just need to like be putting things on paper right now and not talking to people.
So we should record a podcast.
I know. Well, I mean, I'm happy to talk, obviously, but it's so interesting to me because the drawing turned into now I'm like inspired and I'm more present in my daily life. And then it turned into like seeing all of these symbols around me. And then I felt the animals be like, we want to be involved in the symbols. And actually, in our tea house, I'm going to ask for a couple volunteers. The tea house is always down to like do whatever new adventure that we're doing. And their animals were the first animals that I practiced on, just kind of channeling the energy, which was so fun and confidence building. Even though I feel like this is the first time where the information is not flowing through my mind. Like, you know how healers or channelers will say, like, I give all my credit to spirit. I'm just the conduit. It just moves through me. Like, while I believe that that's true with animal communication, I've never like fully resonated with that because I can feel my own experience, like my own thoughts, like all interwoven into it. And I know that the reason why I'm getting the information that I'm getting is because my mind is good at asking the questions that I ask. Like it tells a story. With this, it's like blank, dude. It's so weird. It's like I see the animal and it really is like it's like as soon as I put my little paintbrush to the page, then I start seeing the symbols. And if I start being like, "Oh, that looks like a moon." It's like gone. Like I have to like get back into that space and I can't talk while I'm doing it. I can't even like look at the photo. It's almost like I have to like look past it and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I think this is what people say when it's like you're just a conduit for that energy to kind of come through." Do you
Mhm.
remember Abraham Hicks? Sorry, this is going in a million different directions, but this is just where I'm at in life, you guys. We're normalizing just being where we are, okay? Do you remember when Abraham Hicks first started, how she said she would meditate and her nose would just start to move?
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's the space I'm in right now. So for those of you who haven't heard of Abraham Hicks, she channels infinite intelligence and she literally leaves her body essentially. Is that a good way to put it?
Hmm. It's almost like I feel like people will say when they channel at that level that they like go to sleep. Like they just take a
Yeah.
nap.
And it's so crazy because she's there looking at you and talking
Yeah.
to you and standing on a stage and answering your questions, but her whole voice changes. And she literally closes her eyes and then she's like, we are so pleased. Like she pulls forward this freaking energy, and it's literally, you could tell it's not her. It's fascinating. And I feel like and she said at the beginning of her journey, her nose would just start to move, and then it started spelling out things, and then that's how she kind of opened up to blocks of thought. And I feel like I'm in that stage right now with the little written language stuff, which is kind of fun.
It's very Henry Tyler. Tyler Henry. Which one is it?
Who is that? I don't know.
The medium that like scribbles when he channels, and he always
Oh.
has a smile on his face. I love him. Tyler Henry. Yeah.
Oh. Oh yeah,
Um,
Katie says Tyler Henry.
oh yeah. I love him. I love him.
Oh, I've
Um,
never seen him. I need to look him up.
you know what I thought too is I was like, I want all four. Oh, I just said all four of my horses. I still can't grasp that I have the extra one that is not mine, but feels like mine. That made me feel guilty, like a stepchild. Um, have them channel a collective message between them and then get it tattooed on me is what I want.
Dude, people keep saying that about tattoos. People are like, I want to get them tattooed on me,
Ticket.
which is like so
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah, I want that. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I want that.
Yeah, it is cool to, and so here's what's like so interesting. Oh, I wish I had a picture just like right. I might have to just do it after the podcast, so that the people who are on here right now can look. Um, so I started channeling on TikTok. Like I asked people on TikTok, I was like, give me your give me an animal to work on, and people are like so happy, and this is how I know that it's like a very positive vibrational energy that's coming through, because it's such a weird thing to post. And I post animal communication stuff all the time, and the reason why I deleted my TikTok in the be like a couple months ago was like I had this whole fear of being seen, and then that perpetuated into people just like people don't even, I realize how sensitive I am. People don't even have to say anything mean. They can just say like something that's just like a little low vibrational energy. And I'm like, ah, I'm going back to my people. I don't want to be out here in the wild. This is too crazy. And so I recognized that. I deleted my TikTok. That's when I probably first started being like, I need to care more about how I feel and like try to work my way into like I already know that I can't be like Amber. Amber will just be like, I'm using this for my highest and best good. I asked him a question. I'm like, she literally will like use it as like a way to enhance her vibration and like poke at her belief systems and do the things that she practices teaching everybody, like that she facilitates. No, I can't do that. Like, I'll be thinking about it. And then I got to the point where like I was trying to post things that I thought people would want to see, and
Oh
that
no.
felt like inauthentic. And like, I just couldn't really find my place. So I was like, I'm deleting TikTok. I'm not going to post for a while. And then I just started being like, I know that I want to reach people. I just don't know how. I'm releasing the how, and I'm just gonna ask spirit to like help me find a way to be seen in a way that feels like safe and good. And that's where this kind of came from, which is cool. So, um, anyway, how did we get here?
I'm lost. I just woke up. How did yeah, I blacked out.
I did because I feel like I had a point that I was saying. Can anyone put in the
Uh,
comments what my point was?
your point was asking the question, where's my creative energy going?
Oh
And
yeah.
that you found that it was like a self-suppression versus like output from other places. But it is interesting because you do have this like flow, everyone does, right? And we're always talking about because creating like these programs that we do and the offerings that we have and even the retreats that we do, like we have to come up with all these ideas. And I feel like everyone in my family are artists. And I'm always like, yeah, my sister is like this amazing artist in every, not just painting and not just ceramics. It's like literally everything she touches, she's like, and I'm good at it. And my son is at freaking art school in New York. Like even my little one, he had a Valentine. He painted a strawberry whale for her. Like I just had my uncle was super talented. So I just have all these artists and I'm like, I've never wanted to like paint or draw or like do art, but I feel like where I get to be creative is like when we're doing like a sales page or when we're like developing an event. I'm like, ooh, like that feels like my art. So I
Your
encourage people,
journeys.
yeah, Yeah, and I feel like to encourage people to not just think of like, what do we do in art class? And that means I'm an artist. Like you have to find your art and the thing that creates like this flow. Because when you do it, it almost re-energizes you versus, oh, I'm having to think of this thing and create this stuff and it feels draining versus like we were talking about in the beginning, like doing the things that feel good to you. And if we ever think of something that we're gonna do and then we're like, and neither one of us get inspired, we just don't do it. We just drop her off. Like, never mind. We can't come up with any ideas. It just means it's not time. So we let it go because that's that piece of it shouldn't take from you. It shouldn't drain you. It should be energizing to you. So that is a good question to ask yourself if you are feeling drained. It's probably, there's an entire book, The War of Art is what it was called, and I read two of them, and they were so good because it talked about when you are not being creative somewhere in your life, it will create such disconnect and imbalance in your body and in your like mind that they even brought in like Hitler. Like Hitler was an amazing artist and then his art was suppressed and all of a sudden like I don't know. Um so it is interesting the idea of being creative. Creative. Why did I say I was gonna say creativity and creative came out. Um it's like such an important fundamental thing and I think people kind of get wrapped up in life and they're like, ah, I just got to get done what I need to get done at the office. And it's like, dude, life
Mhm.
is so short. Been hanging out with a lot of older people as of late. So it just reminds me in my current state, I have the ability to do so many things and I have so much life in front of me and my body is healthy. It's a little pudgy, but I am so mobile and flexible and have the ability to work out. And I think that's what it's doing for me currently. Like when you're talking about people coming and having these conversations, there's social media and everything's like a little chaotic and it's like I can feel it just kind of bouncing off of me like I'm there and I'm present, but it's like bing, like this is going to get nothing out of me. You're getting nothing out of this vessel in that direction. Thank you very much. And I think just being reminded like the health that I do have and the like time that we have right now. I'm like, oh, Crete, you should be having fun, dude. Because when you get old, it's much harder. So be in it now. Um, so I think that's, I don't know, it's what keeps reminding me to like pay attention to how I feel currently.
Yeah, I was actually talking to my tax guy this week, and he was saying, because I was like, oh, do you ever get your kid around horses? And he's like, no, and I really need to. And he's like, I have so many things that are kind of showing up for me lately. Like, I was gonna get skiing lessons from this guy, and I kept putting it off, and now he's gone. And I was gonna get golfing lessons from someone else, kept putting it off, and then he passed away. And it's like, yeah, it's crazy how we get wrapped up in life and it just kind of passes us by. And I swear, Sage, my little Boston Terrier, it's like her life's mission to not let me get sucked into anything. Because if I spend too long on the computer, if I spend too long on my phone, like she comes over and she's like, hey, you're missing life. You're missing out on what you should be doing. And it's so, and the other day I was throwing a ball for my German Shepherd and I was like, was life more chill for me without you? Because I feel like, you know what I mean? Like a German Shepherd, they're going all the time. And every time I stand up, she's running to the door. And I'm just like, sometimes it just frazzles me. And I can feel her being like, what are we doing next? And I'm like, I feel like my life was more chill without you. But then I think of how every day I go and run or I go and walk and I like meet new people like the other day. So obviously this art, it's getting perpetuated in all areas of my life. Arlo and I are running. We see this little dude in the park and he's got all this like canvases on the ground and he was painting. And I went over, I was like, can I come see your art? And he's like, yeah, for sure. And I start talking to him. I'm like, what are you painting? He's like, I just paint energy that I see. He's like, this is going to sound so weird to you. I'm like, it doesn't. I'm like, what are the odds? I'm an animal communicator. And he was talking about how he paints energy. And I'm just like, how cool is it that like, when you think of things and when you start creating them in your life, like they just unfold right in front of you. And we get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to like see that happen. And like Abraham Hicks says, we are so free that we can choose suppression. We're so free that we can choose being unhappy. We can choose suffering. How crazy is that? And I've been feeling into that a lot. And I have a friend who's constantly talking about having no time, no time. And while I understand there's a reality of like all the things in our life experience that can create that feeling, um, I've kind of been doing this little experiment of like, well, we spend a lot of time texting. So if I don't text you, where are you going to use that time, you know? Because time is everywhere. It's literally everywhere. It's in all of the little moments of all of our day. And even this morning, my dogs woke me up and I didn't want to get out of bed yet. And I found myself focusing on how I didn't want to get out of bed. And like in that moment, I was like, wait, I could just turn this 2 minutes into, I'm so glad I woke up. I'm so glad that I'm still in bed right now and I'm getting ready to wake up and I'm going to be able to sit up and walk out of this bed and go feed my dogs. And I have a beautiful house. And then I was like, and my art is waiting for me. I'm like, oh, what am I going to draw today? I was like so excited about that. So it's so crazy because when you stop suppressing yourself and you start allowing in what's trying to come your way, you do not get tired. And Joe Dispenza talks about this at that weekend retreat that we did. He was like, when you start meditating and you start calling in that energy, you're not going to be as tired. You're going to need like 3 hours of sleep versus 8 hours of sleep because that creative energy is moving through you and you're flowing with life. Like the energy comes from our chakras so much more than it comes from like our food and our sleep. And I've been seeing that because I was telling Amber that I was up until like 2 in the morning drawing last night, just like
Voices.
practicing. Yes, and I have this, you guys, my toxic trait is that I pick up something and then one, I immediately want to be good at it. And two, I'm like, oh, I drew like a rough outline of a cat. I drew a rough outline. I learned the gist of shading. I'm going to pull up Justin's photo and I'm going to paint a very realistic photo of her, image of his face. And because I see it in my mind's eye, I'm like, I could just do this curtain. No, dude, you should have seen his face. I had to throw it away because it was so bad. And I practiced some noses on there and I'm like, how is this so hard? Like I have such a heavy hand when I shade and stuff like that. And so it's just kind of funny because I'm over here like practicing nose like I should be doing basic shapes still or something. And I'm over here like trying to draw this realistic image. But what's fun is that since all of this is unfolding in my life the way it is, I'm going to give you like a brief timeline and I hope that I can keep my mind going in this direction. I had to stop riding Kip because he was done being ridden. He had been done being ridden for a while, but when I started to kind of put in the idea of riding Fern, he was like, "No, for real, you're never getting on me again." I was like, "Okay." So it gave me this like 3 year hiatus because she was 3.5. She needed to grow up. She's 6 now, 3 or 4 hiatus. She's 6 now, and she recently gave me the inspiration to start riding her. And everything that I have focused on to this point is just like enjoying her because I never want her to feel the way that the way that Kip felt when we were together and the way that I felt when I was working with Kip, which was constantly feeling like things were never enough. Constantly feeling like I had to put my shoulders back or be any different than like how I was showing up. Like I was so focused on like how I was showing up that it was just like I don't know, like a shell of who I was. So when I work with her, I don't know, I'm just like paying attention to how it feels and when I can and it's so cool because I work within the realm of positive reinforcement and there's certain parameters to look for, right? Like their head coming up, them taking a step back, like all these things that kind of show you there's like stress responses or signals. And I find myself like feeling her energy. Like sometimes she'll raise her head a little bit and I'm like, "Oh, are you not okay?" And she's like, "Nah, go ahead." And I can feel her because I'm not in that state of looking for everything that's wrong and I find myself just looking for all the good things. And I say all that to say, as I'm doing artwork, you know how easy it is to like criticize yourself when you're doing art? You know, like even with the noses, I was like, God, dude, like some of these, like that is a pig nose, that is a, whatever. But it's like, I'm not doing it in a way of like, wow, you really suck. Like I have so much grace for myself And it's all kind of unfolding in that way. Can you say all that in a better way? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, I think it just speaks to the fact that, whoa, that was very distracting. Sorry, there's a vet and there's a lot of ruckus in the
Oh
around
no.
pen. Um, yes, because it's, that whole thing of like where your energy is focused on is like where it's going to flow, right? And so if you're constantly looking for good in things, which even in the middle, if you can condition yourself to, even in the middle of like chaos, still like become aware of like what you're saying, like this morning in bed and not wanting to get up. The moment you start to become aware of that and put it as such a high priority to not let yourself get sucked down into that, and just remembering that you are literally creating your experience in this lifetime on this planet, like it just automatically happens. And I think that, well, that kind of goes into like the idea around the Elevate program that we're doing and that starts on the 17th. It's like people can even become aware and go, I'm doing that thing again, I'm doing that thing, and here I'm again in this type of relationship, or here I am again with my horse and I'm frustrated, or like whatever it is. And it's like, I think until you, sometimes it takes accountability because I think it's really hard to do it on your own. So if you don't have like a friend to stop you from bitching and being like, hey, like, who, hey, negative Nancy, what are we doing here? Or you don't have like a partner in that space to help keep you refocused and refocused, it's really hard to do on your own. So I think that when you have these certain things, they're there, like, people say, I have a workout buddy because I didn't want to go to the gym, but I knew someone was going to meet me there, so I had to. Um, Awareness is one thing, knowing cognitively that if I do these things, it's going to exponentially make my life better in lots of ways. But there's that something about having a support system around to be like, oh, you talked a lot of shit about yourself about that nose, like, even though that's not the hole you were going down, but to have people bringing attention to it in a way that's non-judgmental and like super focused and clear on what do I actually want, like in my life, like what am I creating? Do I want to learn how to draw, or do I want a different career altogether, or or I don't know, I'm just like floating along kind of lost, and I don't even know what I'm supposed to be focusing on because I don't even know what the point is anymore. There's a lot of people that are kind of like lost right now. I think it's the pressure of the year of the horse that everyone keeps talking about. And people are like, I'm supposed to be so gung ho, and this is the year of the horse, and I don't even know what I want. So to spend like intentional time in a space where everyone's being intentional, recognizing patterns, and then doing something actively about it with a group of people, I feel like exponentially speeds things up, or also makes it fun, and it gets you out of that funk that sometimes we get in when we're doing things on our own, like a solid month of just refocusing, only focusing on what you're even talking about, like seeing the good in everything that's actually currently happening. Um, I feel like that was like the whole, and maybe it's just the time it's supposed to be happening on the planet. I bet if we talked to Denise, she would tell us we were right on track.
Yep. I know. Yeah, I my downloads for Elevate started coming in this week. Ever since, of course, this always happens where you publish all of our stuff and then I'm like, oh, the creative energy is flowing and I'm really excited about it because like the intention behind the program is like getting so much information from the person and I'm looking forward to like actually taking that information into sessions and I want to build in the light language and get like themes from the animals from people's higher self and put those things together and like it almost looks like having like a word of the week to contemplate and taking things slowly. My thought process lately has been like, how much information do we actually need? Like, are we in information overload? Do we need to continually be looking and searching? And you guys know I love my information and my books. And like, I haven't picked up a book in 2 weeks, which is so weird. And because I'm just in this space of like, okay, I'm reading all of this stuff, I'm taking it in, and then where is all of that going? You know what I mean? Like, all right, cool. I'm hearing all of this stuff and where is it going? So For me, I think my sessions are going to be different in this program in the sense that they're going to be really focused on creative energy and what that looks like for people and their horses. And I have a feeling people's dog, there's a lot of cat energy hanging out. So people's like dogs and cats, I think, are going to come through. And I normally channel like a collective message, which I am doing for the beginning, but like, I'm gonna be guiding people to channel their own collective message, and I don't know. It's just gonna be fun. I'm really excited for it.
Yes. And we had a little announcement to make for our Tea House members. We are going to offer a scholarship for one of the spots. So if you are a Tea House member, I know this is a public podcast, but if you guys are a Tea House member, um, make sure you head to the Facebook group and we're going to show you, we'll post the parameters of the scholarship application and we'll send an email out. But yeah, Elevate, it is for those of you listening and have not seen it. Does it go? I think it goes around a month. I
Hmm.
can't remember. I'm like, wait, what are the dates? We do start on the 17th of March, and it's a 5-person container. So there's only 5 people that join. A couple spots have already been taken. Um, and we do a tandem session with you. So Shayleigh and I do a session where Shayleigh channels the animal, and I'll sit back and take notes. It just depends, honestly, what
Hmm.
happens. Sometimes people's people come through. Sometimes it's just me hearing the patterns and being able to put my like coach hat on, um, and get people really hyper focused on like maybe some blind spots or spots where, here's what your wants and needs are for your lifetime, and like here's something that I hear in what you say or when you talk, and unraveling those patterns, and then doing a custom journey. So a little bit of NLP, hypnosis, theta, all kind of smashed into his journey that will speak straight to your subconscious. So you'll turn out a intake form, create that for you. You're doing something with animals as well, right? Aside from what we're adding
Hmm.
collectively.
Yeah, I also want to do like a little group collective thing. Yeah, everything is going to continue unfolding. I like to keep things, well, I think the animals like to keep things a surprise. Like I have a general idea, but then once everybody gets in the container, then it starts like unfolding for me. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Some things that are like some things that are coming to my mind is we did like a sister program to this, and that little group went on for like a year. The people got so close. And it went on for like a year, and people were still posting in there. And I think it's so cool because two of the people ended up like finding their own creative pathway. One started a podcast, and one started her own business, her own spiritual business. So it's just been really cool to see like what's come out of programs like this because we don't do a lot of offerings where they're like more extended and more in depth. Like we tend to like little like, what do I want to say? Like our offerings will be kind of quick containers. This one's a little bit more in depth and more elongated, and it's fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we will put the link for that in the show notes. If you're a Tea House member, which you could become a Tea House member, I'll also put the link for that in the show notes. And then you could join apply for the scholarship. Um, if you're a Tea House member, then we'll check the Facebook group later today and your email, and then we'll give you guys the details of how to apply for that. Is there anything else?
I don't think so. This conversation felt exactly what the little language is like that I'm It's so fascinating. My mind keeps going blank lately, and I think it's part of my like I'll be in the middle of talking and then all of a sudden it's like I've lost my thought except for it's a series of those kind of things happening, and I feel like it's all happening for a reason. So, if you guys can relate to anything that we said in this podcast, comment on it and let us know. We want to know where you are in Year of the Horse, or if you want to adopt Year of the Whale with us, where we are just moving through. And it does feel like moving through different currents, where it's like currents of blocks of thought and then nothingness and all of the things in between. So let us know how your year is going so far. And thanks for listening.